Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, ladies. I want to thank you for coming out tonight. I started last time I went live, I started it off with this. So we're going to go ahead and share this once again. The reason we are all here, the reason that this information and what we talk about matters. First and foremost, I want to make sure that everybody knows that we are, of course, covered under the copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Copyright disclaimer is under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976 allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that may otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance of fair use. Of course, that is right there on the screen, folks. And we are going to take a look at this video, which is, again, from Leslie Earhart of TBI in Johnson City, where they have multiple offices throughout the state, the TBI does. And one of them happens to be right in Tennessee, right in Johnson City, Tennessee. And let me make sure I'm on the right page here. Apologize, folks. I appreciate your patience with me.
I'm Leslie Earhart with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. Numerous local, state, and federal agencies are here in Hawkins County assisting in the search for 5-year-old Summer Wells. Here's the latest on the investigation. Summer was reported missing from her home in the 100 block of Ben Hill Road at around 6:30 p.m. on June 15th. She was reportedly last seen wearing gray pants, a pink shirt, and was possibly barefoot. At this time, the circumstances of her disappearance remain unclear, which means investigators have to explore all possibilities. Teams have searched from the air as well as on the ground, combing through thick and steep terrain.
We also have the investigators following every lead that comes in on TBI Find, and also the ones called into Central Dispatch. Every lead is important to us, and we follow everyone. We still want to encourage the public and community, if they know something or see something, then they need to make us a call, and they can remain anonymous.
We continue to hold out hope that Summer will be found safe. Anyone with information regarding her whereabouts is asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND or send an email to tips@tbi.tn.gov.
Okay, so reminder of all reminders. Miss Summer Moon, Utah Wells, 6/15/2021, Rogersville, Tennessee, white female, blonde hair, blue eyes, weighing 40 pounds, with about 3 foot tall. Last seen wearing gray pants, pink shirt, possibly barefoot. And of course, this is the contact information. If anybody has any tips, not what some YouTuber like myself or some other YouTuber says is going on. Of course, I don't want to forget to say hello to everybody. Hello, Lorraine. Hello, Fine Summer's Truth. Peas in a Pod. Kathy Niffen. Diane Solomon, thank you for coming out. Amy King, thank you. Katrina Rustava. Thank you. Miss Justice 111, how are you doing this evening? And everybody else as well. Mimi Jean, thank you. Sugar Mama, thank you. Amy King, thank you. Nice to meet you. I don't think I've seen you on my stream before. If I have, I've missed you and I apologize. Carrie Lawson, of course. Thank you very much for helping me out. The Real Rocket Robin, thank you. Teresa Nelson, thank you. Susan Smith, thank you. I'm doing well. Thank you very much. How about yourself? And Truth Finder, hey, how you doing? Cosplay, thank you for coming out. I know you. Thank you for letting me know you may have to step out early, but I do appreciate you doing so. Who said what? Thank you very much for coming. Find Summer's Truth. I do think I said your name. Country Christian. Cherokee Girl, haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? Believe it or not, I just started, so you're not really late. Crimes, Lying, and Lies. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Carrie Lawson. Scott H., how you doing? Robin N. And I think I've almost caught up here. Hello, Oreo. How are you? Just making sure I don't miss anybody. Dolores Hayes, thank you for coming out. Amy King, thank you very much. Yes, I do recognize your name, and that's why I recognize it. I appreciate that. Yes, I've actually been getting a lot of attention with Replay Crew. So I know in the past couple of lives I have not mentioned that I have a strong replay crew. Thank you very much to those who are part of that watch my videos, even though they can't make it when I'm live. Great to hear that, Susan. Oreo, great to hear that as well. Yes, Carrie, thank you. Please remember to hit that like button, subscribe button, and notification bell. Martha Larrabee, no, you're not late. Don't worry. I'm just really saying hello. The only thing you really missed is I played the TBI press release from Leslie Earhart with from June 18th, 2021. Let's see here. Yeah, you didn't miss anything. Don't worry. I usually plan it that I say hello and I talk to everybody. And if I have anything like pressing or ongoing, I put that up front. Like if I find out there's a missing kid that's real cool, real new and not being talked about, I save a little bit up front to talk about that before I get into a topic like Summer Wells, because that can get deep quick. Scott H., thank you very much. I appreciate that. Bama Cat, thank you very much. If you hear plastic bottles, screw caps, or anything like that, I usually make a gallon of lemonade, and I lemonade throughout the course of the day, and I drink it straight from a gallon jug. So please forgive me ahead of time on that. Scott H., is a great to see you out here. I'm always surprised when I have reach that reaches out to people that I've listened to prior to really have any recognition as making YouTube videos. So really do appreciate that. Let me know you do listen. And that goes for anybody else that could be here and not chatting. I would really love for you to chat and say hi so I can say hi and recognize that you're here as well. So don't be afraid to say hi in the chat if you can. Take a moment. Or then on Replay Crew, I like to be able to respond to everybody or as many people as I can. I can't respond to everybody on the Replay Crew, but I try to respond to most people. And hello, Annabelle Roma. Thank you very much. Tonight is not going to be a very long live, just like the other night. I had a little bit of a time constraint the other night, and I went to the limit. And tonight is a finishing up of what I was talking about the other night. It's on Easter. Hello, John Q. How are you doing tonight? Pleasure to see you here. That's all right, John Q. We are the family, the Conversations family. Like that. I see you. Thank you very much for coming out tonight. John, just remember, don't tell the ladies when you're going to have a cup of coffee. The ladies that know will appreciate that I mentioned that. Hello, Sarah. Thank you very much. Miss Justice, talk to Carrie. Carrie Lawson in the background. She knows what I'm looking for, and she is the person that you would want to talk to about that. That's her department, her part of my channel. When I say it's my channel, it's not just mine. It's mine and my mods. They've been there from day one, and they've helped me tremendously. So it's our channel. Amalu, thank you very much. And I know from other channels, Miss Justice, you know who Carrie is, so you know how to reach out to her. Come on, you know I had to make sure I had the ladies' attention tonight somehow, John Q. Kimmy Pooh, thank you for coming out. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason, like I said, I could have kept going on Easter, but I wanted to give Mr. John Q, who's actually one of my day zero people, for those who don't know, he was one of the people that encouraged me to start a channel. I didn't want to be competing with him and be on at the same time as him on Sunday. So that's why I kept my live short. And John Q actually had a really good live on Sunday. And bear with me just a second here, because we're going to continue on with talking about Mr. Tim Mullins and some of his recent posts between his Facebook and what he's posting on findsummerwells.com. If you didn't catch me on Sunday, I was quite perturbed at what was being posted. And the reason, and again, I don't blame any other channel. They were doing a great job in posting what they were catching as a major importance, but we're missing a piece of information. Excuse me. And that piece of information was what a particular phrase was actually saying, or what he was actually saying in a particular phrase without saying it. And his redefining of what harassment is and making it into a digital offender of DV. Now, if you are a victim of DV, SA, or any sort of offense like that, I am not trying to minimize in any way, shape, or form what happened to you or anybody else. It is a very real thing. However, what is disturbing is the redefinition that he's trying to do and the manipulation of what he's trying to do to make people that have nothing to do with Summer Wells' disappearance in his own doing is making himself to be the digital DV. Because he's going around and blaming everybody that covers Summer Wells that does not cover them in the way that the Wells want them covered, trying to put them in the middle of the investigation and say that these people are the ones that should be looked at, not the Wells. And that is not going to fly with me. Hello, Pink Butterfly. Thank you for stopping in tonight. Yeah, Miss Justice, I never realized that we became our own species of people. Or own alien species. And thank you, Miss Carey, for putting that up to remind everybody that trigger warning. This may include discussions of SADV, violent crimes, and adult language. If you are a victim of SADV, a violent crime, or any form of harassment at that, we stand beside you. But let's go back to this. He's coined a phrase that is said to make us out to be our own species, our own alien species. We are utopians. Utopians, however you want to say it. I personally prefer just saying a YouTuber. About everything he said and done is disturbing on many levels. To be honest, I won't be surprised if he gets in some trouble, at least obstruction. Amy King, I agree 100%. I've said from very early on, I believe there's four people, and I'm going to change it to being at least 4 people. They're going to land up with some kind of charge coming out of the disappearance of Summer Wells. I hate to do this, folks. I will be right back. I apologize. Bear with me just a couple moments. Appreciate your patience with me. Hang tight. Talk amongst yourselves for a moment. My apologies, folks. There was a little bit of commotion I could hear outside and wanted to make sure it was not something that I need to pay attention to for a moment. I am back. My apologies about that. I hope nobody else heard it. It sounded like it was coming from across the parking lot from where I live. But Pink Butterfly had asked, he put himself close to the case to find out information. That's a good question. My opinion, it's just my opinion, is he's trying to represent the Wells to, in the end of this, if they are not charges pressed against them, to have them have a book deal, a media deal of some sort, where they land up profiting from this. As despicable as that is, it makes sense when you talk about the Wells and look at their actions and look at what they've done. They've gone from very early on having a Amazon wish list to having now a what do you want to call it, app where people can give people money. That just tells you that I don't have one because I can't even think of the name of it. Peas in a pod. That's the whole thing, is that everything they're doing is I've said it a little bit a different way, but you're exactly right. They're trying to muck up the water. They're trying to make it where they have to, at this point, take this court hearing out of county. If there is a court hearing for charges being brought against the Wells, it's not going to be able to happen in Hawkins County or Sullivan County because the opinions of people are too tainted. So they're going to have to take it out to Washington County, out to over to Greene County, over to, whatever the next county over is on the other side of Hawkins County. I don't remember off the top of my head. Scott H., if you're still in here, I know you can probably name the county. But that's what I think they're trying to do. They're trying to make it where they cannot have it be in the Tri-Cities. I know I'm catching back up with the chat. Bear with me, folks. I'm answering questions that were a couple moments back, but I appreciate your patience with me. Cherokee girl. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And maybe that the mispronunciation of meteor manager might be more appropriate. To orbit around in space and come crashing down in an untimely manner and cause an explosion or fire or to cause a disruption. Hawkins County is not Kingsport. That is Sullivan. Sullivan County would be Rogersville, Mount Carmel, Beach Creek community. I forget what's on the northwest side of it. But that would be Homie Demand. Thank you very much for coming out. Hamblin County and Granger County. Exactly. We're heading points west is my point of where they would have to have that court hearing. Kingsport is actually tucked into Sullivan County. Oh, Miss Cherokee girl. Oh, Miss Cherokee girl. This channel called it and said what it was for what it was. To name what they were doing when they said that, when they made that announcement that he's no longer speaking for the Wells. It was to circumvent the gag order. If he was still speaking for the Wells as their media manager, he was then the gag order applied to him. If he came publicly out and said that he severed those ties, that he no longer speaks for them, as a third-party agent, the gag order does not apply to him. He can say whatever he wants, however he wants to. But if you look at the base value of what he has said, since then, has been nothing but to be a mouthpiece for the Wells. He continued to do so after it. Darlene J. Clark, thank you for coming out. I appreciate you joining us. And Bluntville is more towards the south, just north of Johnson City and Gray, if you're familiar with where Gray, Tennessee is, which is just it used to be its own separate city, but now it's still in the process of becoming a community of Johnson City, for a lack of a better word. They're not able to withstand the funding to have their own government in Gray or council in Gray any longer. So they're working on becoming part of Johnson City more than anything else. And that's been going on for about 4 years now. They've been trying to work out the details of that. True Crime and Other Stuff, thank you for coming out. All right, so let's get back to this article. The other night we covered how, and I did put the link in this video, or in the description of this video. If you did not catch it, please go back and listen to what was said on Sunday. Yes, I will tell you, I was irate. I was ticked off. I was mad to the core, or my core, because this does no good to Summer Wells. You want to claim you are the website to promote finding Summer Wells by calling yourself findsummerwells.com. Although I'm looking at the Facebook page right now. You call yourself findsummerwells.com. But nothing you are doing is to help find Summer Wells. You're only promoting and causing more drama. Okay. And I believe where I had left off was right after here, right here, where we were talking about how he posted the sentence, your opinions and possible theories are vile poison whose effects will show up in the Wells children's lives. I left it off with saying that it's not the people that are trying to help find Summer Wells that is the poison that you speak of, but it's the parents themselves that are sitting there saying, let's not talk about Summer Wells any longer on social media. And they're talking about everything else, when the truth of the matter is and remains and will always remain until either recovery or rescue happens. The only correct answer there will ever should have been is my daughter Summer Wells went missing 6/15/2021. Can we talk about Summer Wells? It's the only thing that mattered. Not how I spent my Easter on a farm petting and milking a goat, or feeding a goat and milking a cow. My apologies, I got my words mixed up there, but you all understand what I'm saying. Oh, Timmy boy goes on to say, but it's your own short-sighted decision to harm the Wells children with your verbal slander, defamation, lower shed talk, basement insinuendos, and torturous unbridged imagery imaginations about Summer Wells' case or unrelated family matters you have manipulated out of their vulnerability. Or vulnerable, out of the vulnerable. Are we the ones that are going on saying that I could see that my daughter has been SA'd? I can see in my mind that she's been beaten by people that kidnapped her? No. We are not the ones that are going online and saying that. We are the people that are coming online and saying our minds want to tell us this is not possible, but our hearts will not let this go and say we want her found alive. You are not law enforcement, and you not only have harmed Summer's case, but you continue to harm the children for profit. You cry delusional SA while being DA, digital abusers. No, Tim, no. Do we need to roll up a newspaper and hit you on your across the bridge of your nose? Bad dog. Because you're taking what the Wells are doing and have done for 21 and a half months. And I'll give them the credit of the past week of they're trying to change what they're doing. They're being coached to change what they are doing and what they are saying. But 21 plus months of doing exactly what you just accused. Every single person that comes online and reminds everybody and talks about Summer Wells is still missing. (6/15/2021), a clock that should never have been started was started. The actual moment she went missing and disappeared from your eyesight and was never seen again, is frankly the most horrible moment of 2021. I'm not even sure on this next sentence what Timmy boy is trying to say. Because the saying is, you're a thorn in the side. Here he is saying you're a sore in the side of law enforcement. Well, sore can be healed. A sore can be fixed. The thorn doesn't go away. It burrows itself deeper and deeper. And to be a thorn in law enforcement's side and a voice for Summer Wells, I say thank you. Thank you for recognizing that. Because Summer Wells deserves at the least that. But here he goes on again, trying to make that all about, and making no sense whatsoever. And trust me, folks, I'm not perfect when it comes to my ability to write in a structured paragraph or anything like that. So please don't take my criticism as hypocritical. I can speak, I promise. I'm just having struggles to do so tonight. But what he says makes no sense. Teaching citizens to spy on citizens, degrade citizens with vain imaginations, using digital dictator torture techniques is not American. Well, yes, Tim, we know that. This has been a warning that has gone on for quite some time in the book 1984. Have you read it? If not, please read Animal Farm. It might be on more on your intellectual level here. It might do you more better, if that's the correct phrasing. He goes on to try to say there's social media rules and local laws, and what he's all trying to go back to saying is this. There was a website that I had on my last live. That defined what was. Bear with me just 1 second. I'm pulling it up here. That defined what digital abuse is. It's right here. The use of technology to harass or intimidate someone. What he's saying that every single person that wants to talk about Summer Wells and keep Summer Wells information fresh in social media, fresh in the news, fresh and present, and will not allow for Summer Wells to ever become a cold case. It's right there. Make sure I'm sharing this with you guys. I want to make sure, okay, good. Right there. Let me blow it up a little bit bigger so you guys can see. Digital abuse, or the use of technology to harass or intimidate someone. What he's trying to do is to redefine what harassment is, and trying to make it the same thing as what DV is. They're trying to diminish what a victim of DV has to go through. The physical, the emotional, the PTSD, the can I ever trust anybody again? Do I want to trust anybody again? In the state that I'm allowing myself to be vulnerable to them. They're trying to diminish that by saying it's harassment. Where this all comes from, if I can find it in this article again, forgive me if I do not. You'll have to forgive me because I don't see it in this article, but within the past 5 years, there was a law that was written or changed in the United Kingdom that redefined harassment as being a part of domestic violence. There's a reason here in the United States our laws are separately defined. I'm not answering for, and I'm not explaining this as far as I can say that it's any different in the United Kingdom. But by the change of the laws in another nation, it does look that way. In the United States, it will never, ever take to be a person of harassment, diminishing what somebody goes through as a victim of DV. Susan Smith, that's exactly right. They do not want, pause on that. Hello, Vet Girl. Thank you for coming out. They do not want Summer's name on social media. You're exactly right. Diane P., that's my next point. Thank you very much for making my next point. You are exactly right. It is not the persons. Marlena, thank you for coming out. I appreciate that. Vet Girl, hello again. If I did say that a moment ago, but hello. It is not the persons that are presenting this information. Every single person in their own step of good faith wanted to stand there and say, we want to let you, the Wells, we want to let you tell your story. We want to let you be the voice for Summer Wells. It's baseball season, so forgive my analogy for a second, but they balked at that every single time, whether it was shooting up on a live, beating each other on a live, staging a fight, an argument, a false arrest, or an arrest in general. To, I don't know what else has happened on a live. The parents themselves have done. Thank you for Cosplay for coming out. I appreciate you doing so. They did it to themselves. I'm leaving it as that, as the criminal acts. I'm not even talking about the heinous acts of use of the bathroom while on a live. I'm just talking about the physical abuse, the constant arguing, the drug abuse usage. They damaged it themselves. No YouTuber did it. The YouTubers that did it just documented what they were doing when they did it. Hello, Blank. Thank you for coming out. Red Miller, exactly. It is bloody disgusting. There has never been accountability. And the moment that you start speaking up, as somebody trying to do a live and talk about Summer Wells, or have an audience such as you all with me tonight that wants to sit there and talk about Summer Wells, and wants to be the voice and be part of Summer's army, we get blamed. We get told we're in the wrong because we won't follow the parents' lead of not talking about Summer. We're almost 1 month into spring already. It's been almost 20 days. In 4 days, it will be 22 months. 4 days. It will be 22 months. That girl, yeah, he tried, didn't he? And he was told that he cannot put a copyright on his child's name. Eyes of Brown, you are exactly right. Those boys will want to answer want answers from their parents when they are older, not YouTube. Creators for bringing us awareness to how they have acted. I keep saying this over and over again. Hello, Julie Howard. Thank you for coming out. I keep saying this over and over again because it's the right answer. What Brandy Neal has put herself through, what Brandy Neal has done for the name of her child, Little Monkey, is exactly what every parent needs to do in that situation. She stood up there, went on lives, as timid as she was at first, not sure what to expect, said, I am here. If you want to scrutinize me, bring it on. Because my child is coming home. Imagine for one moment, if the Wells had done that from the get-go, not been doing any kind of drugs, not playing the games that they've played, this whole entire situation would be completely different. Susan Smith, you're exactly right. They will never go to a press conference, the TBI, with Ronnie Lawson, with anybody, because it means they have to walk back what they have said. They have to eat that big old nasty tasting sandwich of I'm eating my own words. Humility. They don't have it. It's not part of who their makeup is. Brandy Neal stood there in front of and her husband, I forgive me, I believe his name is Tyler. I might have the wrong name on the top of my head. They stood there with the police, kept their mouth shut, accepted any criticism, but when they had the opportunity to speak, it was always Monkey is missing. We're going to bring Monkey home. That's correct, Scott. You are very true. There was a very tight timeline with them that almost from the get-go did preclude them from being the unsub or the person they were looking for. Where with the Wells, it was not likely. You are right, but still, my point being is that when they had the press conferences, when they were going out on social media, if anybody wanted to criticize them in any way, shape, or form, they accepted the criticism. And they kept talking about how their child was missing. But that's not what the Wells do. Susan, she didn't accept. She asked for the help from his organization. They asked for them to come in and help. And here you have the Wells saying, I want nothing to do with him or them people. They're the ones that put us in this position. Why would we want anything to do with them? BB Diamond, you're right. You're right. Candace, neither Don nor Candace had anyone come out and speak positive comments on their character or reputation, except for two kin of Don to Don. There's a reason that that's right. Because these are not good people. They're not the innocent people they want you to believe they are. I have not searched for it, honestly, and I don't find much in the way of Candace Bly's background. But when you have a criminal history almost as tall as the building I live in, reaching back to when you were a preteen, early teenager, preteen, 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 adds up to 5. When you don't change or make an effort to change what the road you're going down, and leading yourself into young adulthood, and still making criminal acts. That calculator keeps going +1 + 1 + 1 + 1 + 1. Many of you know that I'm a big follower, and I used to watch, because I don't watch TV much anymore. Well, occasionally put a movie on YouTube, or if it's a free movie on Hulu or whatnot, I'll watch it. What not Hulu, but Amazon rather. I apologize. Amazon Prime. An old show. Well, it's not old now, or it's not really old, but Criminal Minds, where they go into the psychology, the psychopathy of a criminal. They get so used to, some people in the criminal path get so used to playing a game with the police of, look at what we got away with. How much further can we go and get away with it? And they just keep pushing the envelope and pushing the envelope and pushing the envelope until it's too far. One crime turns into a larger crime and turns into a larger, so on and so forth. This is where you have Don Wells saying, oh, no, that's a felony. Why that statement is so important. Because he knows the next one is life. Janice, thank you for coming in. I do appreciate that. I'm just catching up with a couple of people's names that I've not seen before earlier. If I miss you, I appreciate you being here. Let's see, adoptionscams.com. Vet girl, exactly. Or worse. Exactly. Going back to this other article of what was posted. This is the one that was posted on Easter. And Trevor, if you wrote Trevor Time, any last night, he touched on this. He touched on this one phrase, which I'm going to highlight this whole entire sentence here, or a couple sentences here. From findsummerwells.com. Just so everybody knows exactly where this comes from. We are not looking for justice. This is in the middle of a prayer that he posted on the website. We are not looking for justice. Then what the hell are you looking for, man? Because again, this is findsummerwells.com. It's supposed to be about finding Summer Wells. If it is not a rescue, if it is recovery, justice is exactly what you should be looking for. You know, in Boone, North Carolina, there's a place called Doc Mines. He buys dirt from that miners remove from the areas they are mining for coal and everything else, or whatever they're maybe looking for, rocks, granite, and so on and so forth. and they resell those buckets of dirt to people to come in to mine for gems like they used to do years and years ago, which was have a little screen, your little boxed screen that they made, and have a trough of running water, and you sift the dirt and what remains in the in your basket, or so to speak, is the gems that you found in that bucket of dirt. One of the things that they have in that, I'm getting to a point with this, folks, bear with me a moment. One of the things they have in there is a fossilized pile of crap from dinosaurs. It's polished up, it's smoothed up, it's fossilized. And they have it sitting in on a certain tray that you can turn it, or whatever you want to call it. And in one side it says, "Please touch me," or "Please turn me," or something like that. And on the other side that just explains you just touch dinosaur crap, polished dinosaur crap. The only time in my life that I can actually say I've ever seen somebody being able to polish up a turd. Excuse the way I'm putting this, folks. It's honest. That's all it is. But let's look at what you have right here in what good old Timmy boy is putting out there. Okay? In this prayer that he put together online. We were just looking at, wait a second, I lost my place. Bear with me one moment here. We are not looking for justice. We are looking for you to receive glory and show us that all that you have been here all the time, resurrected and completely in charge of this journey Summer has set the world upon. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and dispute what the Bible says. All right. This is not what I'm doing at all. So before anybody gets an inkling and sits there and lurks, and then later on in their own channel this evening when they go live, after they went and blocked me after I stood up for somebody else's ability to ask a question when there was nothing meant by the question but be a question. Yes, Lorraine, I am looking at you. You cannot polish a turd unless it's fossilized. Justice will be for every human will be done at your white throne. What about Summer? Stop it with the whole entire world and blaming the whole entire world for what happened to Summer, and focus on what happened to Summer. The moment the 911 call was made, this stopped being a story about what happened on 110 Ben Hill Road and being private to 110 Ben Hill Road to being a story that Kingsport, that Beach Creek community, that Hawkins County, Sullivan County, and spread rapid fire throughout Tennessee, throughout the country, throughout the world. The other night I showed you where you need to start going back to and start working on your own understanding of theology. And you're proving my point even further. You need to go back and better yourself of your own understanding of theology, Tim. Remember, this is what he posted on Easter. Excuse me. Sorry about that, folks. This is what he posted on Easter, on Sunday. And this has nothing but been deflection away from summer. Misunderstanding of theology to deflect away from summer. Who just said, where did I just saw this comment. Amy. Yes, that's a round of applause for you. You're exactly right. They aren't looking for justice. They have zero interest in looking for justice for summer. They don't want Summer's name brought up in social media. And that's tragic. It's tragic. Lorraine, you're welcome. And that was not meant for you to say thank you or anything like that, but I wanted you to know that somebody did have your back and saw that you were not in the wrong. What they did to you, the way they kicked you off that stream, and the way what they said shortly after to try to humiliate you for daring to ask a question. And the only thing I said to them is, why are you trying to block a question, a good question, from being asked? And that got me blocked. And that stream, I know you listen to me because you know enough not to call me Conversations Living Room. You know to call me RJ. Yes, Amy King, you're right. And then when they did go on WJHL, it was a really weird interview when you look at what was said. I've not thought out the details of this yet. I'm working on the details of this. We have a little bit more than 2 months. I've said in the past that unless you get together with locals, the people that know these areas that have and have not been searched, you're not going to get anywhere with searching. We obviously cannot search 110 Ben Hill Road. We cannot go onto that property because they do not want anybody on their property. They are hiding stuff on their property. It's that obvious. But if any creator, I do not care about where you sit on the line of what happened to Summer Wells, what's going on with the family. I don't care if you do support the family, your team Summer. I don't care. If we can sit down and put a get together on a week, I can do my best to get hold of some locals that know that area, that would work with people that want to search independently of the police. If they want to get in contact with locals that know the areas that have not been searched, and I mean like know them, like they can go on up on them like Fred Hill used to do, on horseback, on a mule, on a four-wheeler, on a dirt bike, and take people through into those areas safely. Like I said, I've not put down the details in writing. I've not put any details in. This is just me spitballing right here, right now. If we can come up with a week in summer that all of us can put away aside the drama, that can put aside their own feelings about what happened, and make the focus be about Summer for 1 week. Get in contact with me. Carrie Lawson's been putting my email in the chat. It's rjchannel1@yahoo.com. Let's put one more hell of a search party together and let this summer be the summer, the 2023 summer that Summer deserves to have another search. We don't need the permission of the parents to do so. We just cannot go on 110 Ben Hill Road. Let's get it organized. Let's get it right. And let's do it right. This isn't just creators. This is anybody else that wants to come out and help. Let's show them. Let's show the parents how much YouTube power can be. How we can be a positive force. And that we want to be a positive force for Summer Moon Utah Wells. John, you're exactly right. If her own parents aren't looking for justice for Summer, then they've already accepted the fact that she is gone. And their attitudes, their behaviors and attitudes tell it. We don't need permits of a rally or a protest or to have an event in Warrior State Park to organize a search. All we need to do is arrange with the police department what we need to do if we do discover anything. Go through a training class with them, maybe an hour, maybe half a day. Let them know where we're intending to search, or if they have any areas that they have not searched that they've been curious about. There's been many other searches that they've gone and said, is there an area that you've always been curious about but have not searched? Could not search, and not to put blame on the police department, the sheriff. Don't put blame on them for not being able to search. It may not have been something in their control. If we're going to do this, we have got to check our opinions at the state border. If you're coming from out of state, check your opinions, your attitude, your whatever at the state border. If you're coming from within Tennessee, leave them in your own county. We've got to do this with pure hearts, open minds, nobody stepping on anybody else's feet. This is just about searching for summer. Hello, Lisa Keckler. Thank you very much. And John Taylor, thank you for coming out. Diane P., if I didn't say hello to you all before, I appreciate you coming in. Real Rockin' Robin, exactly right. Leave it outside of the border for Hawkins County. I don't care if you where you rent a hotel, and if you go online that night and you put a live up that night at the hotel, or wherever you're staying, that's fine. But when we're out in the field and searching, nobody has an opinion. Everybody has an open mind. It's all about searching for summer. Just to be clear, this is about nothing to do with getting people to like my channel. This has nothing to do with people subscribing to my channel. That's why I only mentioned that until now at the beginning of the program. And to bring in me talking tonight. Real Rockin' Robin, I have my own share of medical issues, and anything. Yep. John Q. Exactly. There's a lot of area around the Wells property that were never, ever searched. Kimmy Poo, I appreciate that, but some people will flip it to be that way. Don't worry. If you have medical conditions or medical restrictions or anything like that, I am sure we can find something for everybody to do. Even if it's having a water stand and making sure people are handing out bottles of water and keeping them cold. Because if it's summer, it's going to get stinking hot quick. Once that heat sets in this area, it doesn't let go. 4 days, it's going to be 22 months. Four days, 22 months. Let's do something the right way, folks. Let's show the Wells that we are there for the right reasons. We have been on here talking about summer for the right reasons. I'm tired of sitting here and just talking about summer. Carrie, thank you to Carrie. She helped me go around, and what little bit we did looking around at places that summer had been the day on the 1 year mark. A lot of people don't accept, and I apologize if you're not one of those people that accepts this. I do mostly keep this pretty private and to this channel only. When I go onto other channels, I am 100% about the facts of what happened. Here I speak more freely about what my intuition is, what my gut instinct is, about what I feel happened. And you all can call me crazy, and it's not going to strike me any bit different. It's not going to stop me from doing anything different than what I do. I have an uncanny ability that some people do have in the world, that we perceive things that not everybody else does. I'm not going to go into much different detail than that because I don't want to offend people. But if you read between the lines, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I believe that this summer. I believe that it is this summer that summer is meant to be found. It takes a little bit of effort to do so. If you put everybody, I used to work in restaurants and in fast food restaurants. I was in management. There's a saying of you have to put your aces in their places. If you have somebody that's really strong at doing one thing, really strong at doing another, then you use their abilities to the fullest that you can. Whether it's being help organized, whether it's help making sure that the searchers are keeping themselves hydrated, working together with others to make sure they are keeping nutrition up. organizing those things as well. If we're going to do this, we're going to do it right. I believe this summer is the summer for Summer Wells. And it's people like Tim Mullins, her own parents, the support group that they have surrounded themselves around, that is going to land up saying, I never saw the outcome that you saw, and you were right at the end. There's a reason why Hawkins County, Sullivan County will not issue any sort of permits this year for anything to do with summer wells. It's because of the drama that kicked around on YouTube for so long before of who was doing what. Instead of being one unified force, Tri-Cities area said, no, we don't want anything to do with you, guy. You're here, but it won't happen again. That's why I'm harping down today and saying, if we do this, we've got to do this the right way, and we've got to do it, set it up that way from the beginning. Because if we show up, we do this right, locals will say, hey, look, do you need more help? And they will want to help find summer. Again, I don't mean to offend anybody. I've gone on the channels and I've explained to them that if you hear me say something on my channel and then I'm more tight-lipped when I go on their channel to speak, it's because I am more liberal about what I say on my channel, and I stick to the facts on other channels. And I say it on their channel because I want them to have that reassurance that if I'm saying something on my channel, it does not necessarily mean that I have 100% of the proof or all my ducks in a row on it, but I'm willing to go forward with that information on my channel. I was probably one of the very first persons that said that I believe it's Summer Wells. It was a heat-related illness. And I said it before, I had all the facts in line that it could support it. And I kept digging and digging and digging and finding the facts, and finally found all the proof that I needed to say, yep, that's exactly what I believe. For as much as I was explaining this as I want it to be wrong. I honestly want to be wrong. I want Summer to be rescued. not for the purposes of the 110 Ben Hill Road, but for the purposes of having a better life that 110 Ben Hill Road could have ever presented for her. But reality is, the longer this goes, the more unbelievable it is and statistically nearly impossible that she is alive. There's been only a handful that I'm aware of missing kids that have gone to this length of time and further for them to be alive. I don't remember the person's name. The person's name is not the point. I'm sure you can Google this and find this. I don't remember what year it was, but it wasn't very long ago. A child was kidnapped and missing for 57 years, was reunited with their parents. Both their parents were alive and amazed that they got to meet their child as an adult. We're crossing the path if Summer is alive, and it is meant to be a recovery. We're crossing the line into what happened to Elizabeth Smarts and this other individual, and these other individuals that are the rare exception to the rule at this point. Lorraine, I'm not picking on you. I'm going to be wrapping down in a moment. Do you remember your question from the other night that got you kicked off for no reason? If you don't remember, that's fine. I want to try to be able to either myself or some of the other people here that have been covering Summer Wells for as long as I have to give you our best answer of that question, because you do deserve to have an answer. Yeah. Lorraine, there are many of us that sat there and watched it in horror that you got kicked off like you did. Is Lorraine still with us, or did she leave? Lorraine, it was you that introduced me to After Party with K and P. Kimmy Poo is here. K and D, rather. Kimmy Poo is here. Dumpling, I don't know where she is tonight. She usually does stop in and say hi to me as well, but she might have something going on that she can't be here, which is perfectly fine and acceptable. We thought you were very respectful, Lorraine. And that is exactly why I chimed up and said what I said in the chat, which got me blocked from that channel. Ray, do you remember the question from the other night? Pug Mom, thank you for coming out and joining us. You're actually catching us at the end tonight. It's okay, Pug Mom. It really, and honestly, you have to go back and to understand tonight, you have to go back to what I did on Sunday night and watch that, which the link for that is in the description. Hello, New Orleans lady. Yeah, I don't remember the question. That's why I'm asking Lorraine if she remembered the question from the other night. True crime and other stuff. That have a wonderful night. Thank you for coming out. What was the question? Where's Summer 100 TBI fine? Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Adoptionscams.com. There are many, many times that I have to stop and turn it off and be like, I just can't take it. It's too much. So I can't blame you one bit. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have an answer for that. But if anybody else in my chat knows what that's about, please, let's try to give her an answer. Oh my, up at 3 a.m. It is 10:30 here. So you are in the UK? If so, I hope you have a great day at work. I might be wrong where you are from in the world, but wow, thank you. No, you're good. Find Summer's Truth, you're good. Don't have to apologize about that. No, don't. Find Summer's Truth. Do not apologize about that. I used to live in Massachusetts, so I fully understand how that can turn out sometimes. Great, Lori. Thank you very much. Like I said, unfortunately, I don't know. I wish I did know the answer for that one. I would love to answer it, but I don't know an answer to that one. It's something that only Candace can answer. Or Ernie, and yeah. Oh, I appreciate that very, very much, Isa Brown. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me that you're staying up so late for you to catch what I'm saying. No, Lorraine, don't worry about it. I will admit that I've been a thorn on their side for a while. I had a message that I put into one of my lives that was not. It was kind, but it was to the it chopped them at the knees for a little bit if they paid attention to what I was saying, and then when I go in there, if somebody's asking a legitimate question and their mods are harassing people and blocking people ridiculously, I'm probably one of the first people that will speak up and say, explain yourself, because that's not necessary. That was uncool. So getting blocked from that channel, that was a matter of time. It wasn't just you that did it. It was a matter of time. So I'm not stressing over that. I'm going to go ahead and drop a link in the chat here. If anybody wants to join me for a little bit, I am going to wind down in just a little bit, but I want to give anybody a chance, an opportunity to jump up on panel and say hey or say hello or anything else they want to contribute to the live today. So there's that link. It's now pinned at the top. You don't have to appear on camera, Lorraine. You're good.
Okay.
Hey, Lorraine, how are you?
Hi, how are you, Mr. RJ?
I'm doing good.
I put it in chat, but I asked the question was, what was the argument that Candace was arguing with Ernie Shell about money?
Right.
Why were they arguing about money?
Yeah, unfortunately, I've been looking to see if anybody had an answer for that. And Kimmy Poo, you can come up if you want. There you go. You don't have to be on camera if you don't want. There we go. Kimmy Poo's here.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
All right.
Lorraine, I honestly, I really wish I had an answer, but unfortunately, that's a question that only those two people are going to be able to answer. I don't have a clue what that's about. I really do, because I would love to be able to give you an answer about it, but I just don't have one on that one.
I truly understand that, and you know, she would just funny that she let me up there that day, because normally she wouldn't let me go up on panel when Candace is there.
Normally,
So
she
I
won't
think
let anybody go up on panel, but her own little, let's see, how do I word them?
minions.
Yeah, that's a weird way of putting it.
But it wasn't that I was trying to throw any darts or anything, because you've been around me enough to know that, and Kimmy does too. I'm really not gonna be disrespectful to anyone
The only thing,
unless.
the only one I've ever seen you being disrespectful is Nightbot.
Oh yes, yes.
There is an inside joke there, folks, from a different channel. I apologize, but it's an issue with Nightbot going rogue that many have seen, I'm sure have seen on other channels. So just so everybody kind of understands that, it's just an inside joke.
But I just wanted to ask the question, and I had more, but she wanted to play it her way, and that was fine. That was her channel. She could do what she wanted to. But I do appreciate you being there and having my back. And there was a
Absolutely.
couple more people that actually got in touch with me throughout the night that said I was not being rude or disrespectful.
Yeah. Carrie Lawson saying that how we call it the Chucky bot.
Yes.
Did you see what Lisa said?
Lisa Lou,
Yeah.
I think she was talking about Benny stealing Cash App money that was meant for her. Oh.
Huh.
Well, I don't get involved in drama. All I'm looking for is a possible answer. So I'm not going to comment beyond that on that one, but that is a possibility.
I don't know nothing about him and that. It was just, I know what I seen on a live clip, and her on the telephone with him, and it was a very heated discussion. And I wanted to, because we all have our opinions, what has happened, what could have happened, what is in the mountains up there that nobody wants found. It's just, it's a big puzzle to a lot of people, and I think they've made a circus and a mockery out of this child. I do not approve of it.
Well,
There's
that's
not a
something
child in this world has ever been asked to be brought here.
that is something I hope that other creators will team up with me with my idea that I'm still working on putting details together, and one of the areas I want to search, if we can pull this off, is the area in Chimney Top Loop, that 288 acres of land that has never been searched, and try to get up into the mountains with people that working with people that live in the area and whatnot, to see what has or hasn't been searched in that area, and make a good effort at it.
Yes, sir.
That'd be good.
Oh yeah. But it's all going to depend on how many people are willing to work together and things like that. But Lorraine, again, I know I said it to you earlier, but don't worry about myself getting blocked from that channel, because that's been long in the coming for that to happen. But anyway, yeah, like I said, don't stress that at all.
I don't usually go up on panels on everybody's channel because I'm very particular about it, but I do watch you.
And I appreciate that.
My little mama over here. But and John Q, I watch him. But it's just, I'm like you. I want to answer for the things that need to be answered for.
Exactly.
I enjoy your show. I do.
I appreciate it. And Kimmy Poo, you're being quiet there.
Oh, I'm just listening. I enjoy your channel too.
No, I appreciate that, guys. I really do. No, I was you believe it or not, I find you to be normally quiet. I'm just saying you're all being quiet. Make sure I'm not talking over you or anything like that.
No.
No, it just, I don't know. I think we're a little bit loud. Sometimes, aren't we, Kimmy?
I can be, believe it or not.
New Orleans lady said, "I'd like to know why Candace keeps changing her story and not sticking to the script. She keeps saying that she was inside when the scream happened, searching for Summer, but now says between 4:30 and 5 o'clock." Well, New Orleans lady, my impression of what the Ronnie Lawson said, and as well as the TBI are saying, is because of how long the story about the scream came out after Summer went missing, it's an odd thing for it to take that long for somebody to remember something that happened just a couple hours or within a couple hours before. So they find it to have no credibility whatsoever.
Huh.
Well, I have a good one. I wear a knee brace sometimes. Sometimes I wear a body brace. I put all that on by myself. Don't need any help. I find that statement a little odd that she made, that she was helping put a knee brace on. If you just come from a hospital, they put it on for you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they do.
Well, wasn't the story that they didn't give her one, that they had to go buy one? Or do you know?
Not exactly. I said that on your channel. I said there was a possibility that they didn't have the type of brace that she needed, and they would have written her a prescription for it for it to be picked up at Walgreens if they had them. But typically, unless it's a very specific and specialized knee brace, the hospital's going to have one or put her into the full leg brace, the full leg mobilizer,
Right.
or a soft cast type of deal, until they can get to a doctor or get the proper one that they want them to have. But they wouldn't leave the hospital without some sort of brace if that was what was going to be required.
Right. Because I mean,
I
I've
agree.
had two leg surgeries. I'm embraced before I've come out. I just find it odd that that was one of the statements she made. I find it, there's a lot of odd statements. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I was going to say that everything's been odd and changed.
Now,
Oh,
That doesn't make sense. When something doesn't make sense to me, I have a big struggle with it.
mm-hmm.
when you get a knot in your stomach, you know that feeling.
Yes.
And I can understand what RJ was saying a while ago about, I don't know how you really worded it, but pretty much you can see things, you can read between your lines, you know.
Yeah, that's why I'm wording it tonight, because there are some people that are new to my channel. But yep, in private discussions, I'd be more than happy to go much further.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
But I
Do
understand
they
exactly
know that?
what you're saying.
Now, what was the reason for Grandma needing to go to the doctor?
So she had a knee procedure when she was in Wisconsin, and part of the reason she keeps returning to Wisconsin is just that she's going to follow-up appointments.
Gotcha.
And but they had gone to Dollywood, just outside of Knoxville,
Mm-hmm.
and the boys were roughhousing around her, and they kept bumping into her bad leg, and one of them supposedly went as far as it was kicking her knee.
Okay.
And there was soreness and some swelling, and they wanted to get it checked out, and some bruising going on. They wanted to go get it checked out to make sure the knee replacement, Rock and Robin saying, didn't mess up the knee replacement. And that's why they went and followed up with they went to the orthopedic clinic.
Gotcha.
And she should have had a knee brace coming out of having knee replacements, which would have done her the best in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
But because an immobilizer, although it would do good to get till she can get to whether it's x-rays or MRI or whatever the next step they were saying she needed, that post-surgery knee brace would have been much, much better for that situation if there's something going wrong with the knee with the boys roughhousing around her.
Yeah, you would think they would have taken x-rays there, like then, at the place they went to.
Mm-hmm. Well, should have and would have and did. That's Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear type of deal.
True. I'm just saying, I've had neck surgery, and at one point I was in the pool and my granddaughter jumped and something made a weird sound and my neck was killing me. So I went back to the doctor. They immediately did x-rays and checked it out. And it was okay. Unfortunately, the disc above it was failing. So I ended up having to have another neck surgery. But first thing they want to do is x-rays. X-rays.
Oh, yeah. And that's exactly what they would have done. If as long as she was able to put her weight on it,
Mm-hmm.
is they would have, but at the worst or the most, given her an immobilizer. But frankly, she should have had her post-surgery brace on immediately. And that would have done the best for that type of issue until she can go get x-rays or an MRI or like I was saying a few moments ago.
Correct. Yeah.
I mean, I've had mine done, and I still have my mobile braces and my soft braces.
Yeah, because don't you have the surgery, Lorraine? They put you in the immobilized one, you wear it for a little while, and then you graduate to the soft one.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. I have one with rods in it, and then I have a soft one. Then my body one, or when they did my hips and all, or my hip, it is like a back with the rods, then a brace going down. So I can do all that, put all that on by myself.
Yeah. When you're talking about knee surgery, you're talking about three different types of braces. One is a metal one that is it allows you to get around, but it doesn't allow your knee to flex.
Right.
And that is really mostly some of your recovery time. You're using that as you graduate into having going through rehab and things like that. They point you into a metal one that has joints in the metal bars that will allow you to have the flexibility and start to rebuild the strength in the knee and use the knee. And then after that one, you actually have it's a neoprene and Velcro brace.
Right. Correct. I have one of those.
And the reason I had issues where I dislocated my knee and kept dislocating my knee when I was a teenager. And I had to go through those three braces myself, and I'm supposed to still use the neoprene brace.
Yes, sir. Me too. So, I mean, and you can put them on by yourself.
You can, but I'll be the first person to tell you that to sit there took it on. Say it only took 3 minutes to put it on. No way.
No way.
No way. There's days that I would put my knee brace on, and I'm talking about the neoprene run, and I'd get up and I'd start moving, and not even like 2 steps later, I'm like, nope, this isn't sitting right. I gotta sit down and I gotta put it on, take it off, and adjust. And you're doing that for 10, 15 minutes.
Easy.
Exactly.
Trying to get it just right.
Yeah. Because if you don't, it'll rub at the back of your knee so bad.
Not only that, but it puts pressure in the wrong places.
Exactly. I was just fixing to say that. Or in my case, sometimes it wants to slip because I didn't put it tight enough,
Right.
Things like that.
That's those adjustments that take 5 minutes throughout the day.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So it's just, I just find it very hard. I mean, I find a lot of their questions, like I said,
No.
weird.
You should have never been blocked the other day. You were asking a good and respectful question.
Well, I think all of it, in my opinion, it was a show to be put on for her. And I was the first fish to grab the hook. But I'm okay with it. She didn't get to me like she thought she did. I'm not Satan, and I'm not no stranger.
No.
She very well knows me. Has known me for about 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
So, because we worked close together with the Collie Rodney case. So,
Oh yeah.
And that's true too, Carrie.
Exactly. Carrie's one of my mods, and her and I took, for as much as I know, Kimmy, and Lorraine, guys are gonna laugh. For as much as I know about Summer Wells, Carrie knows more.
Oh wow.
Carrie, if I have a question, if I'm not sure of something when I'm researching something, she's probably the person I go to say, hey, look, is this adding up to what we've talked about before, or this or that or the other? She's real. She knows this. She's actually been out searching before.
Aww.
So yeah,
I just find it very odd that there's so many cases out here, and so many of the parents, if it's 1 or 2 parents, they're already in custody. But this certain pair is not.
it's all a matter of the misinformation that they put out there first.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And if there's no evidence, they can't do that.
Right. Unfortunately, with everything that Ben Hill Road in general has put out there and in public, and all the information that contradicts itself, you have to actually go back to the press conference that Ronnie Lawson and Leslie Earhart, I believe it was on the 17th, June 17th, 2021, where she had said that by this point we would have a direction to go on, an understanding of where this is headed, and that they don't have that in this case.
I'll listen to that today, to be exact.
It's exactly what I'm talking about when I say there was so much misinformation by the parents.
Right.
6 descriptions of Summer in 24 hours. That's the one that keeps just like, dumbfounded me. How do you not have a solid description of your own daughter that there were 6 in 24 hours? And it wasn't until some of the police were talking to Robin Lane that they didn't have an accurate photo of Summer.
That's what got me. How do you not have a photo of your child?
What about the ones with the milk jugs in the car?
The photos, yeah. Well, that was part of a video that people took stills of.
Oh, I got you.
That was the TikTok video.
Got you.
Okay. But Robin's the one that supplied the accurate photo of her, right?
Yep. Carrie, that's exactly what I mean by the 6 different descriptions. It was, she was 4 years old. She was 6 years old. Oh, no. She was 5 years old.
Ah,
You know, how do you not know your own child's age?
or her birthday. Diane just said the same thing.
Oh, yeah. I don't care what religion you follow. You may not celebrate a child's birthday,
True.
but you know what day they were born on.
Exactly.
Yes. As a mom, you remember those things, you know. I mean, to me.
I remember the first moment that I looked at my son's eyes and held him for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
I can too.
You know, you don't even, you know, the whole pregnancy and childbirth experience is completely different from men from women. The woman always feels the baby inside of her. Whereas for a guy, it's not real until we hold the child the first time.
My husband would agree with you. And we have 5 children.
So it's, to me, that moment of the first time I looked in my son's eyes and I held him and I was just like blown away.
Mm.
But that blown away moment happened so much earlier for a woman that it's impossible.
How can a woman carry a child for 9 months, feel that kick, hear that heartbeat, and not raise them?
Well, I'm not being ugly. It's a real question. Was she consistent with doctor's appointments and things during the pregnancy?
We don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't think. I honestly, I wouldn't believe that if anything, she would have taken more than a couple of visits to an OBGYN and been taking like the over-the-counter pregnancy pills that you can get at Walmart.
Prenatal vitamins. Yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry, prenatal.
No, you're fine.
I don't believe that she would have gone to much more than a clinic more than anything else and bought the over-the-counter version, not the prescription version.
Yeah.
It's just a sad story.
It is.
If God can't grant you something like that, and you don't cherish it.
No, absolutely not. Well, ladies, it is going on 11 o'clock on the East Coast tonight.
Yes, sir.
I've been trying to get myself into a better sleeping habit because I'm the type of person I'll stay up to 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. So I'm going to go ahead and shut it down tonight. But you both are welcome back anytime. I have an open panel where I throw a link out at the end of my program or the scheduled time. You're welcome to come back and join me anytime.
Thank you.
Of course, if anybody doesn't know, Kimmy Poo is part of.
I sent you an email.
You sent me an email. I don't have my email up at the moment.
Okay. Right now the channel is on hold. I'll just say. Yeah.
Okay.
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 I just wanted to throw that out before you threw that out.
Oh, okay. Well, I had done so earlier, so I apologize.
Okay. No, you're fine. You're fine. It's, people don't know yet.
Okay.
Some do.
Okay. Well, we'll let that go then. But
okay.
Anyway, both of you are welcome back, and when you hear from Dumplin', let her know she's welcome here as well anytime.
Okay.
But anyway, ladies, I hope you have a wonderful night.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Give you both a moment to say anything else you want to say before I go ahead and close it down.
No, just enjoy yours.
Yes.
Okay.
And good night.
And good night as well.
Sleep well.
Good night.
You too. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very much for coming out tonight and listening to the second half of what it was that was irking me so much about what was being put out there by Tim Mullen before. Tonight was a much less more relaxed and calmer than it was the other night. If you didn't see how I felt the other night, please in the description there's a link to the other night, and you will be able to tell that I was in a rare form and I was ripping. I was ripping the other night, because what they had put out there was eating at me that badly. But it's 11 o'clock at night. As I always end my shows with, no matter how old you are, no matter how young you are, or excuse me, no matter how how old your kids are or how young your kids are, by text message, by giving them an extra hug, some way, let them know that you care about them and that you love them. And it can make the world of a difference to them tonight. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. This has been Conversations Living Room. I am RJ, and I'm out.